Well, we're back working on Rayray. Welcome back to Party Shop Shenanigans. So I've got my son's 1987 G20 Chevy van, the Adventure Mobile, and we've already done quite a lot of work. Got some other videos on that. Hopefully you've seen those. Check in. Kind of fun. We're having fun anyway. Got our work cut out for us this weekend. We got the ceiling put up last weekend and insulated. We have it mostly wired for 12 volt as well as one 120 volt circuit for an extension to run off of his inverter. But let's take a look at what our challenge is for today. So today, well, Logan's in there ingesting high levels of black paint, which he'll describe in another episode. We're going to need to do something with this floor. So we bought some brand new 3/8 CDX. We're going to use the old floor that's got some rot in it as our template. You can see this piece here had a big piece of rot from a hole we had under here. Actually, this clearance lamp back here was leaking water really bad and rotted that wood out. So we're going to put down our new subfloor so that we can get things to surface to know what we're going to do for our walls. Now we're going to use the same wood. This is a 5-inch fir tongue and groove. It's got just a Minwax clear finish on it. Logan did an awesome job with. And we're going to do the same thing on the walls. We'll have continuous piece of wood all the way across these doors. We'll show you how we do that later. We're going to set the first piece so that I can determine what our window frame is going to be like. We're going to have to go all the way around there, and there's a lot of angles and some curvature of the van that we're going to work with there. And so this afternoon we've got our work cut out. The goal by the end of the day today is to have our first window frame all fitted like it needs to be, hanging off of our first piece of our first course that'll go across here. Once we have that figured out, we'll be able to duplicate it over here for this back window as well. So stick around, we're going to have some fun. Yeah, tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, you're on.
Cool. So we're covering up this back window. The whole time last summer I was living in it, my curtain that was covering this guy never came down, except for maybe one time when I was like driving through something scenic and had a passenger. But it's not necessary. And if there's wood covering this whole thing, then that's more building opportunity for cubby space and little experiments down the road.
What kind of wood are you going to use?
I don't know. Well, this is Doug fir, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Doug fir that we're putting all throughout the interior. But frankly, I imagine that when I'm putting little auxiliary stuff on, it's going to be kind of take what I can get. So I don't know. It'll be mine. You know, it might not look perfect, but it'll be mine.
So if you're going to cover that up, what are you doing? How are you going to do that? Just slap wood over it?
Over this?
No, over the window.
Oh, this guy? Well, we're going to spray paint it first so that it looks like nothing from the outside, so that it's totally camouflaged and you can't tell what's going on inside. And yeah, we're going to spray paint it, put a vapor barrier here, not necessarily exclusively for vapor, but so that it protects the spray paint from the wool insulation that we'll be putting behind it so it doesn't get scratched up or anything like that. So it'll be spray painted black windows, the plastic covering insulation, and then the siding, and then that gives us a solid thing to screw into and something that just looks like a black void from the outside, and that's what I'm going for.
And a black void while traveling will get you better fuel mileage.
Definitely. It's more aerodynamic when there's nothing.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to go tss and all that. So, yeah. So with this window being covered up, we just spray painted it black. No light's going to be shining through from the back, so you're not going to notice like the splotchiness of the paint, but let me just show you what it looks like compared to the unspray painted ones. Yeah, it looks really good from the outside, honestly. And like I said, it'll be covered up. No one's going to be inspecting it too closely. It's just going to look like a window that you can't see through. And that was exactly the point. Whee! So we're hoping today to get into the walls, or rather onto the walls. And one of the barriers of doing that is taking out this little bit of the carpet here so that we can build supports inside to screw onto, namely these guys. And I want to keep this red carpet because it's cool. My bed's going to be covering it, but you know, it's thematically appropriate. So why not keep it? I'm going to trim off, this obviously is our flooring, and I'm going to trim off all the excess down here that'll keep this from getting tucked up inside, and everything behind this old door skin line. And then everything will be flush and nice, and if in the future I have some weird bits of carpet like poking out like this, I can spray adhesive, sit them back down, put them in their place. So, yeah, cue time lapse. That's the rough idea. And I'm gonna keep doing it and adjusting it, and I gotta do it to the other side too, but just getting some extra carpet out of the way so that we can build more clean.
Okay, well, so we've had a heck of a challenge here. Our goal has been we want to have this siding look nice, and it's going to follow the contour of the van, but the van also does this bit. I've spent a lot of time looking on the internet and YouTube trying to find how other people have done this, and what I find usually is a before and after. We don't get a lot of details about how it was done. So Logan and I did, gosh, we must have spent an hour yesterday trying to find our baseline here to get this level with the bottom of the window frame, because we want this to be square. We can't go level with the ground because the van is higher in the back end than the front end. And also what I'll be doing is building a box, a window frame that will go around this window like this, all the way around as a frame that will then butt up into this tongue and groove setting. So what I did is a little mock-up here. Cut a dado in the bottom. We set up our tongue and groove with the tongue up so that if there was anything spilled on this or even dirt and cleanup, it'll want to fall out. Because if we did it with the groove up, you can see that could catch stuff and hold it in there. So let's keep it clean, right? So we go with the tongue up, and I thought, how am I going to fasten this window ledge to the wall? Well, I cut this dado, this little slot right here, and it happens to fit right over here. And we did lots of figuring to find out, for this to fit into the tongue of our wood and be level at the bottom of the window here, how do we make this happen? We made it happen. I don't know how, but we did. So the next big challenge is going to be to cut the top and bottom pieces to size. And then I'm going to have to put a side piece in. And then once that's in, I have to figure out where this surface meets, and up here where it gets very narrow where it meets, and the curve of this silly old glass. So we'll go away, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have a solution. And once we have that solution, bingo, bango, boom, siding starts going up, we'll fit everything, and life is going to be awesome. At least that's what Logan says.
It's going to be sick.
All right, wish us luck.
I'm ready.
I think I'm ready. So we've had a bit of an adventure here. We're trying to figure out how to create a frame around this window that's going to look nice with our tongue and groove finished look here, which is the same as what we have up on the ceiling, right? And so I cut this window sill out to length, and I cut a notch on the bottom of it, or a dado. And that dado is going to fit over the tongue of this piece of tongue and groove. Now this is just a mock-up right now. Our final piece will run the full length, but this guy now fits over that. Now we have a windowsill. Life is good, right? But we've got an angled, lots of compound angles, let's call it. So here's a piece of tongue and groove. I cut the tongue off, so I've got two beveled edges, okay? And you can see it's narrow at the top for up high. It's wide at the bottom for down low. And I've got to account for an angle. And glory be, thanks to Logan's outstanding math skills, we have what's going to finish here as a pretty nice looking windowsill. We're going to have some space in here. We'll worry with that. That's not insulated, but that's really kind of a minor thing. But then what's going to happen is over here, if this doesn't fall on my head, is then this piece, what we'll have is, I think, now as our wall gets put together, this will finish out pretty nicely. And hopefully my bevel here, even though it's straight with beveled edges and the van is curved, what I'm hopeful is that, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this all, Logan, but I'm sure going to try. For your entertaining purposes on Viewerville, watch Bob try to hold 5 things at once with 2 hands. I'm definitely going to have to work this over because, as you can see from back on this side, we've got enough curve in the van here that I'm going to end up having to scribe a line. Our bevel's going to go away, dude, sorry, but we'll end up scribing a line so we have a nice finish all the way up here. So all in all, I'm happy with that. I think it's going to work out well, and holy cow, I think we're going to do it.
I think we're gonna do it.
All right, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Wonder Twin Powers, activate. Well, it's been a day. I tell you what, we spent most of the weekend just figuring out these window boxes. We kind of looked earlier how I was going to attach it. If you look over here, we've got one in place, just mocked up. Ultimately, we're going to run this piece of wood the full length all the way to the front door. Another one below it. Everything at that front window is blocked off. We'll insulate and put wood all the way up there. We'll do the same thing over here with the doors. We're actually going to run the first 2 courses. We'll run all the way to the front door with the side doors closed. And then, yeah, and then we'll figure out the rest as we go. Who knows what it's really going to work out like. But what's important is we're having fun. We'd love to get your feedback. If there's anything you're seeing about the work we're doing here with Rayray, Logan's Adventure Mobile, let us know. Hit something down here in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, tell a friend or 10. We'd love to hear from you. Give us your feedback. Be honest, but be kind. Go out and make somebody smile. You both deserve it. Bye-bye.